I knew April was going to be chaotic, but I didn't think it would be this chaotic. I'm watching so many dramas right now, I don't even have the time to breathe. But I do have the time to talk about them, so let's do that. So season 3 aired this month and I have watched till episode 4 so far. This season has a love-hate dynamic between Yumi and our male lead Shin Sun-rok, and I think he might actually be my favorite among all of Yumi's love interests. His personality is so relatable. I did not expect to see my personality represented on screen, and definitely not through tiny animated cells. This season is only 8 episodes, which makes sense because the first 2 seasons were also building up Yumi's career, and now it's mainly about wrapping up her love life. But I think I got way too used to the 14 episode format because the pacing here feels like it's on 2x speed. And that really shows in the romance. The switch from her hating him to suddenly being in love was so fast and abrupt. Like nothing really happened for that change to make sense. There was literally zero build up. One moment she is getting all confrontational on the train, then she cools down, and in the very next scene it's slow mo and suddenly it's love. I am really hoping that they give us a proper flashback or at least some explanation later on. The last 2 seasons balance light-hearted storytelling with subtle insight really well, and I just hope this season can retain that. So far, the light romantic vibe is definitely there, and I'm optimistic that the deeper and more insightful moments will kick in soon. I'm excited to see how their relationship actually develops though, and whether he really is the endgame like the rumors say. The next drama I'm watching is We Are All Trying Here, and this drama is heavy to say the least. This drama scares me because of its very realistic portrayal of things. Watching something like this while also watching Perfect Crown and Yumi's Cells is definitely giving me emotional whiplash because I'm just going through all the emotions known to mankind by watching these together. I know it's too early to judge, but the screenwriter is Park Hae-young, who also wrote My Mister and My Liberation Notes, both of which were on a very similar level of emotional intensity, so I am expecting her to knock it out of the park this time as well and make us all cry. And you can already see her writing style coming through in the dialogues. Whenever I'm reading books, I have this habit of underlining lines that hit deep, and if this drama was a book, I would probably underline everything. The dialogues are so beautiful. I will quote the fan favorite, which is, "You're human, but not humane. Isn't that peak incompetence?" Just look at how beautiful this line is. It makes me want to cry happy and sad tears at the same time. I am in awe that someone came up with this, but I also need a minute because it's just so sad. The acting is also insane, by the way. I love Koo Kyo-hwan's portrayal of Wang Dong-man. He's unlikable, crazy, pathetic, but so painfully real. I know a lot of viewers hate the character so far because of how much of a loser mentality he has, but I simply can't help empathize with him because I know what it feels like to be constantly anxious that time is running out and you have not achieved anything. A person is bound to break. The first 2 episodes were incredible and I'm excited for the future episodes. I have unfairly high hopes from this drama and I want to say that I am sure it's gonna deliver, but I also don't want to jinx it. When I made the video about the list of dramas releasing in April, I mentioned that I had no expectations from Sold Out on You because it looked like the sibling of Potato Lab and Brewing Love, both dramas I couldn't get past the first 5 minutes of. But I still gave this one a shot, and well, after watching the first episode, I was actually pleasantly surprised because I did enjoy it. It had a cliche plot, but it still carried a good rom-com energy. It was light and funny in places. The female lead was introduced as someone with past trauma and a non-existent personal life. She loves her professional life, but it also makes things very difficult for her. So it's almost like a toxic relationship. Still cliche, but a decent character, and I liked her enough. But then episode 2 happened, and oh my god, the character suddenly turned into something else altogether. She became my worst nightmare. I was so infuriated by her in this episode that I have prepared a mini rant. Please bear with me. She is shown to be a woman who only knows her profession. Would you take a tractor to meet a client that sits on the 100th floor of a glass building? No, right? So why on earth do you go to a village in a sports car? That's so impractical. What kind of entitlement is it to go to a region where you are a guest but expect them to accommodate you? You disrupt their lives and then act catty? Why would you wear such impractical shoes to a village? You could have used the AI you were endorsing to check what the terrain is like. It would have told you what to wear. You go to a farm, see two men, who clearly work there by the way, carrying a sack, and your first thought is that they're stealing something? What? And how do you just barge into someone's farm like that? The person working there has some level of authority, right? If they don't want you there and have already said it multiple times, why do you think it's okay to just ignore them? The female lead was doing just fine, so why did they have to do this? Is this supposed to be comical? Because I am not seeing it. She appears to be an extremely classist woman who only knows how to behave when she is talking to someone higher than her stature. Honestly, they should have introduced a second female lead instead of a second male lead. At least then I would have someone else to ship the male lead with. Based on the episodes released so far, I wouldn't recommend starting this drama at all. I have already watched 2 episodes, so I will take one for the team. I'll finish it and let you know if it's even worth your time. I'm also obviously watching Perfect Crown. This was one of the most anticipated K-dramas this month, and for good reason, because the lead couple is the IU and the Byeon Seok. So far, the plot has been good. It's essentially your usual Seok style storyline, but with less helplessness because, well, technology exists. The character of Ian has major loser energy, by the way, very similar to Roo Jae from Lovely Runner. And while that really makes the romantic idiot in me happy, I do feel like the makers are playing it a bit safe by giving Byeon Seok a character that's quite similar to one of his most successful roles. I'm not exactly complaining, but I'm slightly concerned about him getting typecast. I also really like Song Hye-ju's character. I think she's well written and portrayed really well. She's not a manic pixie dream girl who just exists to fix the brooding male lead. She's loud, narcissistic, but still very likable. The production quality and visuals are genuinely amazing. I also like the overall tone. Everything is colorful, peppy, dramatic, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. That said, this drama was heavily hyped up pre-release and I don't think it has fully lived up to that hype yet. I was expecting a stronger focus on Chaebol politics as well, but it seems like we're only going to brush over that since the plot is mainly concentrating on the monarchy and the love story, which is okay because we've recently entered the romance phase and it's swoon worthy. The contract relationship is slowly turning into a full that's the love of my life you were messing with situation, which means it's officially kicking your feet in the air season. I just really hope they don't introduce unnecessary separation drama in the upcoming episodes. We already got one breakup. Thankfully, it wasn't dragged out, but there's really no need for a second. I need them fighting everything together. They have been wronged for so long, and I need payback. I'm also watching Phantom Lawyer, which I have not covered in this video. The drama is almost coming to an end, so I'll be doing a full review of it on my channel soon. I also plan to start watching Falling for Love. I think the first 2 episodes of which have already aired. And I will also be watching Goldland simply because it stars Park Bo Young and I absolutely love her. Which April dramas are you watching? Let me know in the comments.